Welcome everyone to a special edition episode of Comics Chat with Gat. I am the titular Chris Gatley. That is the butler Taylor Catcher. Tits and
Hello.
butt. TNA.
Hello.
We're gonna make this show real good.
Well, that's what Riverdale's all about.
There it is. That is what Riverdale is all about. This week we're going to be doing a special edition of the first episode of Riverdale. Archie was voted our favorite comic series of like 2015.
2015.
And so we were really excited when the series came out and it was announced that it was going to be going on. Produced or written by?
It's produced by Berlanti.
Yeah.
So, and then also produced by the creative director of Archie. So it's like...
Got a lot of good things going for it.
Yep.
And then we watched it. And Taylor liked it, and my wife liked it. I did not like it. I was on my phone within about 5 minutes, but we'll get into that. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is a weekly show about all things comic books and popular culture, and we're going to be actually starting back up again. It's a big, exciting thing, but for now, we wanted to just take a second and go over a quick review of Riverdale and how it relates to the Archie universe, so let's get started. Taylor?
Yeah.
Riverdale, for those who haven't watched it or haven't heard of it, what is it exactly?
Riverdale seems to be a teen drama in the most CW sense.
Yes.
In the Archie universe, but with like a weird Twin Peaksy overlay. So it's kind of like if you kind of took Archie and wrote it to be a Twin Peaks CW drama filled thing, that's what this is. So
if I would say if you took Twin Peaks and just replaced characters' names with Archie characters, I don't see there's not much of a connection.
Funky enough to be Twin Peaks.
Well, it's not funky enough to be Archie. Like it's not it's not quirky enough to be Archie.
Yeah.
So let's get into the show, the actual show. So here's the thing. Starts off, and this is going to be going into spoiler territory, so this is where we're going to be discussing the show and the differences we've seen in the comics, and then also just kind of discussing the show in general, where we think it's going to be going. So I'm going to lead this, and then I'm going to need, if there's anything that's different, I want you to jump in. I know you wrote a lot of notes, but they're mostly nonsense. So here's the thing. The show starts off with the two siblings who are twins, named...
I don't know the brother's name, but Cheryl Blossom. It's the Blossom twins.
The Blossom twins. And so here's the big thing. You can tell that there is sexual tension there. Like, they're not announcing it or any of that. Like, it's very clear. If they weren't twins, you would think that they were dating. And so I'm assuming it was writing, showing that they were twins, making you kind of say, just kidding. You know, siblings wouldn't do that. They're definitely, they were hooking up or something. There was even lines throughout the show that Cheryl would say about her brother during his wake and during the dance and at their party. It just did not.
And also,
it's a mystery. I'm sure that's going to get revealed later in the season.
They introduced Betty's brother, which I don't remember being in the comic books because he went Betty's sister. Sorry, Betty's sister that went crazy after.
Was it sister?
Yeah, because her brother dated her.
Oh, right. Yeah, she went crazy after
dating the Blossom boy.
Yeah, it was
a weird like
total
that's why
throwaway
there's
line.
Some sort of like tension between the families. That's why the Coopers hate the Blossoms.
So we keep talking about the Blossom boy in the past tense because he actually ends up dying.
The first 5 seconds.
Yeah, the show starts off where they're going out on the river in a boat, just kayaking, about to probably have sex. And then it starts off with a couple people, a Boy Scout troop, finding...
And that guy's a guy in the show, in the comic books. He's the nerdy guy. The one that's the head of the Boy Scout troop.
Oh, okay.
The character, I can't remember his name right now, but he's the nerdy guy that always helps them do like crazy shenanigans in the Archie comics.
Okay, so they his Boy Scout troop stumbled upon Cheryl, Cheryl Blossom. She looks nice. Anyway, so she was very mean in the show.
She's very mean in the comic books.
So they stumble upon Cheryl, and then they discover, like, oh no, and so they have to try to find him, and they actually never find him during the opening of the show and throughout the show. And then so that's when it kind of pans over to Betty talking to Kevin and deciding that night, you know, the summer has been too long, and Betty's going to reveal her love for Archie when they meet for dinner at Pop's that night.
Because they've been friends for years.
Of course. And then
Best friends.
they, Kevin is not seeing the big deal about Archie, but then he looks out the window and there's Archie across the street from him. Archie's, of course, ripped.
Putting on a shirt as everyone who's ripped does right in front of their window.
That's what I do, and I'm not even ripped. I put on my pants, like open the window and put my pants on outside the window, one leg at a time.
And then once they're on, you make old records?
Pretty much, yeah. What?
It's Christopher Walken, doesn't matter. Keep going.
Jesus. Okay, so then we got to remember a core demographic here watching the Archies in the Riverdales.
People have seen the cowbell skit, Chris.
I don't know what you're talking about. So the next thing is Kevin says you got to get after this guy. Like you got to go after Archie. You got to go with everything you got. Betty then says, I agree with you. Pandering. Then they go over to Pops. And Archie and Betty are now talking, and they're getting connected. And then Betty's about to reveal that they are going that she's in love with him. And that's
Veronica walks in.
Veronica just walks in. Archie just is staring right at her. Beelines right to Veronica. Veronica's talking about hamburgers and what are the onion rings any good here? Of course they are at Pop's Diner. And so he even invites Veronica to sit down with him, and Betty is just not kind of having any of it. So Veronica leaves, and Betty just, of course, in CW teen drama fashion, Archie
everywhere.
looks at her and says, "What do you want to tell me?" Nothing.
It's actually CW fashion. It doesn't matter whether it's teen
drama
or not.
Teen drama.
I mean, like, Arrow lies all the time.
Valid. Okay. So that's kind of the big setup, is that, you know, Archie is oblivious to the fact that that Betty's in love with him, and then he's obviously going crazy after Veronica. But they covered a lot of ground in the episode because
they made Betty and Veronica really good friends.
They did,
which was awesome. I was very excited that they make Cheryl the evil character and let Betty and Veronica be friends, and let Veronica use her wily ways in the rich, you know, fanciness of the Cheryl, who's also a rich family, to defeat her, kind of, which is what they're doing right now in the comic book. So obviously who's ever's talking to somebody, it's Archie Comics, they know what they're doing. Cheryl Blossom is the villain, and Veronica has now earned a conscience because she's been with Archie and loves Riverdale, and so she's able to take down Cheryl at her own game, but then feels bad about it, right? So they kind of are building this thing where Veronica and Betty are the best friends that they should be, which is nice.
Yeah, it's good. So they become cheerleaders together. It was always Betty's dream to become a cheerleader, but because Cheryl hated her the whole time, you know, she was never able to do it. Veronica stands up for her, which is very nice. And then the other thing is that Veronica makes Betty ask Archie to the formal, but with a little bit of a twist, because Betty is still scared. She makes Veronica and Betty go with Archie together.
It's good for Archie.
Great for Archie. Like, good for that. But other than that, okay, so now we're going to the point where they're at Cheryl's house for an after party. And they're playing Spin the Bottle, and Archie and Veronica are chosen to go into the closet together. So this is the big deal, because now they're trying to figure out, like, is there tension between them? Is there some kind of feelings between them? And of course, naturally, they make out after a couple minutes of going back and forth.
But Betty likes you, and he's like, I know.
I don't
and then she's
Betty.
Like, we shouldn't do this. And he's like, well, but we're both hot. Oh, also the whole teacher shenanigans.
Oh my God.
We totally forgot about that.
Right.
So the whole other...
Yeah, like, he's in love with... So here's the line that brought it up. Veronica was talking to Archie and saying, you know, have you ever felt this kind of love for someone like how Betty feels for you? And he said, yes, once this summer. And that summer was his teacher.
He had sex with his music teacher, who was hot, to be fair.
Who, is she in the comics?
No.
Okay, so he sex with his music teacher, and he actually, what makes it weird, and I think it must be this reason, during the summer, he went to go work for his dad doing construction, and then he started writing... He started writing poems, and then he realized that he wanted to turn them into songs.
Because the Archies, right, are a band.
No, well, that's probably how it all ties together for the comic lore. But I think that he as a person wants to become an artist because of the music teacher.
Well, he's also
trying to
asking
find any
her
reason
to
get with her. His
music
instructor,
mentor.
Yeah. So that's why he's doing. He's trying to find any reason to interact with her. So that was a pretty weird thing that happened. But you know, the teen dramas are still going strong.
And so she doesn't want it to happen. She's like, we can't do this again.
Yeah.
I'm an adult. You're a 24-year-old man.
Pretending to be a 16-year-old.
So, but I mean, I think his construction work over the summer is what made him hot.
I would imagine so.
Right? All that lifting
stuff all the time.
Stuff. It's like ultimate, what's it called when they do the...
Craigslisting.
No, when you're like lifting giant things. It's like that new
CrossFit.
kind of workout. Yeah, CrossFit.
CrossFit. So that's the thing. So they're in the closet together and they're discussing, you know, Archie's alluding to the fact that he's in love with someone else, but then of course they kind of make out anyway. But now Archie's got to go find Betty. So he's trying to find Betty. Everywhere goes to Pops. That's where he runs into...
She left upset when they came out of the closet.
Yeah. Well, she left before they came out of the closet. Oh. Because they went into the closet together. She was not having that shit. Right. Because Cheryl. So fucking now Cheryl. The big deal here, hashtag fucking Cheryl. The big deal here is that
way.
That's very true. So the big deal here is that he goes to Pops. This is now the first interaction near the end of the episode. We're about 50 minutes in with commercials. 50 minutes in, and now Archie and Jughead are having their first interaction.
Yeah, you saw him briefly in the very beginning, and then you're like, where's Jughead this whole time?
He's kind of in the background everywhere.
Like I wrote, where's Jughead, like 12 times in my notes.
You did. So,
look, there it is. Where's Jughead?
So now they're having interaction in Pops, and they're talking to each other and just realizing that Jughead is very moody and just kind of presenting the world as being fake, and he knows that Archie's fake and hiding things, and everyone in the town is hiding things. So it's really just Jughead in the comics, as I've always read, he's been, I want to say the word clairvoyant, just in the sense that he can know what's going on, but he has a positive attitude. Yeah. He does not hear.
His clairvoyancy is kind of comic book-esque. Like, as far as, like, the Jughead, he's always the guy that could solve the problem.
Yeah. But in a positive way.
Oh, yeah.
That's the issue. So now he's leaving, and he goes to Betty's house. Archie is going to Betty's house now to confront her to see what's going on. And this is when, Betty kind of puts the ultimatum out there. Do you love me? This is where I started to get a little fuzzy, like, because I was so bored at this point. But he says, of course I love you. I don't remember what happened after that.
And then it was kind of like, I was fuzzy too. But it was kind of like, but he's like, I think he's like, but like as a friend, and then she cries or something.
Yeah, they kind of had truthfully, that's probably what happened. We just kind of blocked it out because it's so commonplace that's what happened. But yeah, it was more of just like.
It was raining, of course.
Yeah.
And he's left there in the rain in his cool jacket while she runs inside.
So, yeah, that was a big deal, but the conclusion of the episode, though, had more to deal with. Here's Jughead in the background narrating the fact that there's more secrets to be uncovered. This is what you may not remember. So Kevin, the gay character, is earlier in the show at the fall formal, or winter formal, whenever, he was in the bathroom and he met Moose. Moose is the character, and Moose had a huge, penis. Pretty clear to say. That's what he said. That he was making it very clear.
I remember writing a note about that.
Moose had a pretty big dong. And so here's the thing that was crazy, was that Moose is allegedly straight in the show, or in the comics. It's whatever. He's not trying to put himself out there or anything.
He's dating the girl that Reggie's in love with.
In the comics?
Yeah.
Okay, but not in the show. So here's the fun part. So now, Moose and Kevin, I can't believe you don't remember this. Moose and Kevin snuck off together to go skinny dipping in the lake. And so they were even saying back and forth, Kevin said, what's the most you'll do without being gay? And he said, everything but kissing. I remember
that line.
He said, everything but kissing. And so as they're starting to...
everything but kissing?
Yeah. And so as he's starting to strip down and to go into the water, they stop, and then they look into the water, and who do they see? They see the brother.
The brother Blossom.
With a bullet hole in his forehead.
Head, that was the thing.
So he didn't, because they said that he was trying to reach in to grab a glove and then fell over and freaked out and drowned somehow.
Well, they were like...
Yeah, they capsized the boat and all that. But no, there's clearly a bullet hole in his head. Show Twin closes, Peaks. Twin Peaks style, I guess. And so it was... Overall, it was a show that if you put any other names of the characters there, it'd be just a standard teen drama.
Yeah.
It was not Archie. It just wasn't Archie.
It wasn't Archie, but I think that they did, for everyone but Jughead, pretty much hit the characters on the nose, though.
No, remember what we said last night, though? Archie is known for his physical comedy.
Was the most
he's not broken
part.
one thing. He
didn't screw up anything.
Smooth. He's not smooth in the comics, really.
He should be a little bit more...
geeky.
Not geeky isn't a good word. He's prone to accidents. Like, that's his jam. Like, there's one of the most recent episodes of Archie... he has this like mental breakdown, so Jughead has to be Archie, because Archie just becomes Jughead because he's like, I don't care about anything anymore. I'm just gonna eat food and forget everything. And Jughead's like, no, you're messing up the balance. Now I have to be the Archie. And so like he gets all the friends to like, you have to shadow Archie and stop him from hurting himself so we can get this thing done. And so like, he's about to walk over a manhole and someone throws like wood under there, and he's about to walk into traffic and someone grabs him, and like all these things. Because Archie's the kind of person who's so goofy that he can light an ice cream. The ice cream can light on fire at an ice cream shop. Like that was an actual in the comic book that happened. And so the fact that they kind of took that out of Archie is a real bummer, because that's probably my favorite part.
But consider, first episode's usually pilots, so they've already recorded this before hearing any kind of fan feedback, and then they start getting into the extra episodes. So as we wrap this up, let's kind of talk about, for people who are fans of the show, I mean, that's great. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you liked about the show. And if you've read the Archie series, any of the Archie series would be great to hear. And if you haven't read them, do it. I mean, it's pretty simple.
There's actually this book I have right here. It's called Road to Riverdale, which I thought was going to be a backstory about the show, which is why I bought it. But actually, it's just the first issues of all of the new Archie books. So it's Archie #1, Jughead #1, Betty and Veronica #1, Josie and the Pussycats #1, Reggie and me #1, and then like a cover gallery, and then a photo gallery of the new show.
Okay.
So it's just, you get basically the first issues of all of the Archie universe, and it's really awesome.
All right, so other than that, we enjoyed the comics a lot. Taylor liked the show a lot. I'm very lukewarm on the show. I'll give it another week to try it. My wife really liked it. But other than that, let us know what you thought in the comments below. We have been Comic Chat with Gat, and we, again, our weekly show devoted to all things comic books and popular culture are going to be starting up again soon. Mm-hmm. So make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you like it. Make sure you share it. And we hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, let us know, because we always like to tweak things and make things better or worse.
Bye.
I like to break things. Bye.
Comic books.
Chat.
Gat.
With Gat.
Just Gat. Oh, Josie and the Pussycats logo was just like...
No, we've already ended